Alright guys, I was showing you the techniques and skills how to take the starter out of a 96 Accura 2.5 TL without removing your intake manifold and all this other unnecessary hosings and housings, okay? As you can see, I had the starter out. I did some tests on the starter. I know it is a starter, but right now, I mean, like I said, I'm strapped for cash. So I just wanted to check out the starter. I know it is a starter, but by me tapping that starter and it spinning like that, that also showed me that okay, if I had the starter in and I tapped it a few good times and whatever, I just put some life back into it by doing that. So it should allow me to crank. Now, going through the procedures that you guys saw in my last video, you know that I know it's not the ignition switch, it's not the relays, that it is the starter, because while I had the starter sitting up here, I actually went inside and turned the key and the starter clicked and jumped out and ran fine. So, we know it's not the starter. Now, sorry about this guys, but I am suffering from a little toothache, so, but I'm out here in this Florida weather, so it's not the air or nothing to bother me, it's just that I have a toothache. So, as you can see, if you look down in here, see this little silver thing right here? This is actually my ratchet. I'm gonna drop it down so you guys can see it even more. This is the ratchet. You see it sitting back there on the 14 millimeter nut. The big ratchets, I have a bigger ratchet right here, but these ones, this is huge. This is too big to go down in there with a 14 millimeter on it, so you have to get the small ratchet, the micro ratchets, what I call them, just the small fitting, the 3/8 fitting ratchets, and a 3/8 ratchet with a 9/16 or a 14 millimeter fitting for the 3/8 ratchet, and just put it down in there, and this will allow you to get down inside and tighten up that screw, okay? So if you guys can see, I mean, there's nothing that I've taken apart from my motor. Nothing at all, except this one hose right here. Just one hose with two necks. Sorry about that. I'm using my phone. But that one hose only connects right here. And I also took a loose this pump right here. That's it, in which it sits. This pump, no, that's another hose we're looking at. But this pump actually sits right here on the side of this motor housing. That's exactly what it'll look like under your hood. I mean, with nothing else missing. Where my hand is, that is exactly a space. That's it. You know, so if you look under your hood, you'll see that looking like that. But these are the only two things I removed. This housing, which allows you to get down to this screw down there that I'm screwing on now. And the other screw, guys, is actually right under that hosing that I said you're going to move. You see this housing here? Oh, shit, I dropped the clamp. I'll worry about that later. But you see this housing here, and then right here, if you go straight down under there, there'll be a 17 millimeter screw. If you look straight down, you see that gray box down there? Well, that's actually the transmission housing. And you can actually see the screw on the housing. If you look right at that tip from where I show you that hose connects, towards the back of it where it turns gray, the golden gray where that ring is, and look straight to the right of that ring, there's the screw right there, sitting right down there. Okay? So that's the other starter screw. So I just wanted to show you guys that you don't have to take a loose your car to get to the starter on the 96 2.5 TL, but you do have to take a loose the vacuum pump that sits there, the hosing to your brake disc that sits in the back, and also, like I told you in the last video, right under this housing, under this connection right here, all the way under, there's a bracket under there that takes two 12 millimeter screws that you can remove, and from there is basically like I said, in the stitching bar to break the screws loose, because you're not going to be able to get your hands down in there to apply much pressure. And once you break them loose, you can take the extension bar out and put your hand right in there and use the ratchet to ratchet it and loosen it out. What you're going to do is, when you get it out, you're going to pull the starter all the way back. You're going to pull the starter back to the front end comes out, to the nose of the starter comes out. And then you're going to simply slide the nose of the starter down first, and it'll slide up to this opening, and then you pull the nose of the starter straight up through here, and you come straight out. There's a hold right here and a hold right here, but of course they split apart easily, and the starter pops right out of there with no problem. I mean, there's nothing else. This piece here, this connection here. I mean, nothing else that needs to come apart, guys. It's very simple. Pretty simple. Okay, so with that being done, I just wanted to give you guys some insight on, to show you a follow-up video, to show you guys that I did put the starter back in. The same exact starter I was testing, of course, the bad one. Why, I don't know, because in another 2 weeks I'm going to be right back under here taking this right back out. But hey, maybe that'll give me a chance to get my other camera out instead of using my phone and show you guys the full work of this type of job. It's not much, it's time consuming, that's about it. That's the hardest part. You got to just be a little patient, because it's going to take you a while with a socket to get that 14 millimeter back in. Now, if you guys are a little more financially stable, or I mean, not even that, it's just that the tools you have. I have a ratcheting wrench that would be great for the job. Okay, it's just the 14 millimeter. This one is made by Crescent. A lot of my tools are from Crescent or Craftsman. American made, good tool, lifetime warranties, great tools. That's a ratcheting wrench, and that would be your best and easiest option of reinstalling that bolt back there. But actually, I got my son out here with me, and I don't want to do a job with all those tools. I don't want to show him the easy way right now. I learned the hard way, and just to show, like, whatever basic tools you have, just to show just the basics. All the expensive ratcheting and all of that systems there, I mean, you don't even need all that. You're just a regular guy with a 14 millimeter socket, a 17 millimeter socket, and a 3/8 and a half inch ratchet, and you're good to go, guys. So I hope this video was helpful, and have a great day, guys.